He has been our best signing. He is a genius. Who am I talking about? Am I talking about a player? Is it Rice? Is it Saliba? Is it Timber? Is it someone off the pitch? It's not Mikel Arteta. I am, of course, talking about the set piece master coach, Nicholas Jover, who, trust me, deserves a hell of a lot of credit. Big up to every single one of you. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you're smashing the likes and hit subscribe. This is a match reaction from the Arsenal game tonight. Literally just walked in the house. Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0. And my goodness gracious me. What a first half that was. We got to the first half. I must say, it wasn't looking too good. But when it mattered, set piece FC returned. And when I say it like that, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek to wind everybody up because people like to shout poo this ball. People like to talk about Mikel Arteta and the fact that he is Tony Pulis in disguise. But tonight, I do not care. Let's just say it how it is. Who gives a damn that we score from set pieces? Not me. It's beautiful when it happens. And it really is something that we've added to our game that needs to be discussed. So big up to every single one of you. Hit the subscribe, hit like if you're happy that we won tonight. Tonight was a massive game. And do you know what? Tonight was huge for more than just 3 points. It was the points dropped by Liverpool. So 3 points were an absolute must if we have our eyes on the Premier League title. For me, I just want to keep winning. And that's exactly what we're doing. 3-0 against Forest, 5-1 against Sporting, 5-2 against West Ham, and now 2-0 against Manchester United. We had to go on a run, and it looks like we are going on one. Big up to all of you that are joining. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you check out Manscaped. 20% off at the moment. FTM20 is the code that you need. Let's talk about the game. I thought Amorim done an absolute number on Arteta in the first half. He basically said, we ain't better than you. These players aren't better than yours. So come break us down. If you can, you might score, but you're going to find it hard. And trust me, we did. I don't think any of our attack was on fire tonight. People are talking about MSN and all this stuff of years gone by. Well, we've got SMH, shake my head, because that's what it was tonight from the three of them. They were not good enough, in my opinion. It was boring. There was not much happened. Still some chances if you think about it. Thomas Partey, I thought should have done better with his chance in the first half. I thought Martinelli should have hit the target at least, if not scored, with his chance in the first half. But other than that, it was rather tedious, wasn't it? Let's just be real. There wasn't much happening. I do believe that there was an opportunity for us to go ahead in the first half. But if I'm honest with you, Manchester United actually had a lot of the play. Didn't create much, but they had a lot of play. They were passing it around nicely, making it tough for us. Pretty much asking us to come and get the ball off of them. And when you do get the ball, there's an opportunity for you to find it hard to break us down. Now, I like how Amorim sets up, I must say. I think how Amorim sets up, I'm not sure I'd like it for my team, but I do like how he's got this Manchester United identity straight away. Three at the back makes it very difficult for teams, and there's always an opportunity for a counter-attack. Now, with better quality, give him 4 or 5 players, I think Manchester United will start to pick up points. I think in the next couple of seasons, we'll start to see Manchester United going back to the very top because they've got the right players now behind the scenes, or the right people behind the scenes. I must say, the front four tonight weren't great for Arsenal. I thought Martinelli was poor and didn't really offer anything. Anytime he did go forward, there was no threat. Bukayo Saka, people were looking to get out their seats for him, but it wasn't really happening. There wasn't much happening on his side. Martin Odegaard, I don't really feel had the best game tonight. Now, it's hard, isn't it? Because whenever he's on the ball, he looks great still. He always looks like he's going to make something happen. But I just don't think he was quite at the level tonight. There was a couple of brilliant bits of skill where he turned on the ball or he threaded a pass through. But if I'm honest with you, he wasn't on fire tonight. And Kai Havertz, I thought did nothing, if I'm honest with you. He chased back a couple of times. That was it. I don't think he really caused any threat whatsoever. So, yeah, every single time that happens, people are going to question where our striker is. And I think they've got a right to do that. But what I liked about tonight's result and performance individually was when those players at the front don't deliver, what else you got, Arsenal? And we weren't able to break them down. We weren't able to create a massive amount of chances. And the half chances we did create went wide or over the bar. But Nicholas Jover is a genius. He is an absolute genius because that set piece system, the change of corners, the delivery, everything is spot on. One thing that actually doesn't get mentioned enough is the delivery, by the way, because the only reason the corners go in is because the delivery is inch perfect. And I think that Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice are two of the best corner takers in the Premier League right now. And people don't look at it. They just think that Gabriel's pretty good at getting his head on it. Well, Gabriel wasn't there tonight. So for me, I look at it and I think, yeah, I've got to say, there's definitely something special with Nicholas Jover at Arsenal. And look, he is definitely earning his money. And if some people in the chat saying pay rise needed, yeah. Do you know what? Let's put him on a pay rise if that's what it takes to keep him, because he has got it spot on. And it isn't just this season, it was last season as well. A lot of the bitter rivalness is like, set piece FC, Tony Poo this ball, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what? I don't give a damn, because sometimes you've got to win matches. And if that's the way to break a team down, let's do it. Let's talk about the two goals before we go into some of the individual performances tonight. The first delivery is absolutely brilliant. And I've got to say, it's actually a really good goal because the delivery is absolutely inch perfect from Declan Rice. But the header from Timber is superb as well. And Timber's 5'10". He's not a monster like 6'4", 6'5". He's not Havertz, Saliba or Gabriel. And he's managed to get his head there. And if you look at actually where they're standing, this is where it really does get tricky. You are seeing opponents now start to get confused. And that's what I love about it. Yeah. You actually look at it and feel, do you know what? There's actually an understanding now of oppositions starting to have fear in their eyes when Arsenal get a corner. I have never been at a football stadium, whether it be at the Emirates or away, and I've been going for a very, very long time, where genuinely there is excitement in the ground and there is a crowd going, whoa, every time a corner is taken. That is ridiculous. To do that when a corner is taken, wow, trust me, people. Trust me. That is pretty outstanding. So the first goal goes in. And if I'm honest with you, the second half just completely changes after that goal. The game opened up a little bit for Arsenal. There was a lot more opportunity for us to actually have a go at Manchester United. There was a few through balls where Trossard had been brought on, some subs were made. And then Manchester United, at times, were looking a little bit more of a threat. And the game was a little bit more open when they had Amad Diallo. Two of their better players tonight, Lenny Yoro, when he come on, I thought he looked really good defensively, and Amad Diallo. And I think that when you look at what Mikel Arteta did, it was a stroke of genius, if I'm honest with you. Because not a lot of people thought that there was much on the bench other than potentially Kieran Tierney instead of Zinchenko. And what he did, putting Timber at left back to lock up Diallo, and then having Kivior, who I'll come back to in a minute, and Saliba, and then Partey dropped to right back. And then Man United didn't get a sniff after that. That was superb from Mikel Arteta. Like, fair play. Fair play to him, man. You got to big up the manager, you know. You absolutely have to. So, yeah, I feel like you have to look at them being 4 games in. I have already seen enough from Amorim to know that he's a good manager. I've already seen enough for him to go, yeah, do you know what? These players ain't good enough yet. But trust me, this system will work. And I think there is a clear difference in a positive way from Amorim to Ten Hag already. Like, absolute distance. You know, when Man United fans that were Ten Hag lovers at the time, yeah, no, it isn't that. It's the players. It's the players. It's clearly the system and the players, because Amorim is looking at it definitely differently to how Ten Hag looked at it. And yeah, I don't think that Amorim's going to come in and walk anything with Manchester United. I don't think they're good enough. I see Z, big up to Z in the chat, looking at it positively as well. And I understand why he is, because I would be quite impressed if I was Manchester United fans right now looking at what Amorim has done at the early stages. I don't think it's like, wow, we're playing blistering football and it's scintillating to watch. But at the same time, I think what he's doing is he's fitting the players he's got into the system he wants. And it looks already like he's sifting through the players he does not want to use and he does want to use. And I think that to me is definitely a good early sign that he has the ruthlessness needed for a Manchester United job. So I'd be very excited if I was Manchester United with the coach Amorim. And I think that it's going to get even more, to be honest, when he gets his players. So let's see what happens. Nardan, you're an actual madman. When it was Arteta playing a similar system in the early stages, you hated it. I'll just ignore that because that is absolute waffle. But there we go. What a strange comment to make. Let's look at the second goal because, again, it comes from a set piece. Declan Rice. It's actually Thomas Partey who gets there first, and it comes off of Saliba's backside. But we'll take it. We'll take it. It's another set piece. And what I love about these set pieces, it's not just the fact that we're actually getting onto the end of them. It's the movement beforehand. It's the fact that they all go far post and then they start to have their zones and you don't quite know who's going to go where. And they switch and change it, man. They switch and change it. And that's what I love about it. And what I mean by switch and change, it's not sometimes they go near post, sometimes they go far post. It's they all start far post and they all go to different areas. So like on one corner, you might see Saliba come a little bit deeper. The next one, you might see Partey going towards near post. The next time it's Timber going towards near post. They have no idea how to mark them. It is genius at work from Nicholas Jover. It's absolutely genius at work from Nicholas Jover. And I don't think it's spoken about enough. I think the only times it's spoken about is when we start to score again from them. But actually, when you look at us defending from them as well, Nicholas Jover actually has to take a hell of a lot of credit from it as well. And I think that we've definitely improved there from both attack-minded and definitely defensive-wise as well. Big up to the chat. Big up to Views. Big up to Mum in the chat. Big up to Boston. Big up to Sophie from Hybrid Squad. Big up to you. Big up to Albert. Big up to you guys, all of you, man. Absolute legends. Big up to Suj. Suj with the super chat again. What a hero he is. Let's hit the like and subscribe, people. Make sure you do that. Credit where credit is due. United came with a plan. I think it was Malacia that held Saka really well in the first half. Yeah, do you know what? They come with a plan. And I think Amorim knew that there was no way they were going to outclass us. So let's make it hard for us. And that's what they did in the first half. We had no answer. And people thought we were really poor in the first half. And perhaps we were. Actually, when you look at it, Manchester United deserved a lot of credit because they kept the ball. They made it difficult for us. They didn't allow themselves to get naive. They didn't get broken down. And our front four, let's be real, were a little bit difficult. Had a difficult night, if I'm honest with you. I thought Havertz was poor. Saka was quiet. Odegaard not quite himself. Martinelli, nothing going right for him at the moment. Need to see more from him. What he did go through, I mean, you've got to do better. You know, he's missed one chance in the first half, which he really needs to score, put on target. And he's missed another chance in the second where he's just basically pitifully tapped it into the keeper's hands. Like, I need to see more from him. I just need to see more from him. Kai Havertz, you know my thoughts. I'm not a fan of him as a starter. I think he's a good squad player and I think he can come on and do the business and change the dimension. But I hate the fact that he has to play every single game because we need something a little bit better. Look at Isak's goal tonight. You know, when's Havertz going to do something like that? This is what we need up top, in my opinion. Havertz isn't that type of player, man. He's an Olivier Giroud type you need in your team, but you need it in your squad, not in your first 11 every single time. And I just thought he was quiet tonight. I thought he got eaten up a couple of times as well. Let's come to the positives of the players that do deserve a mention. The first player I'm going to mention is one that I don't think many are going to mention at all. David Raya. David Raya, for me, I would say, made one of the best saves in an Arsenal shirt tonight. It was incredible save. Now, any goalkeepers that are in the chat, please do let me know. Because I honestly feel like that is a very, very underappreciated and underrated save. It is an incredible save. A lot of people thought it was dipping in. Raya didn't. And it was like it was in slow motion. You know when you get those saves that look like they're in slow motion? I always remember one, I mean, this is taking it to an extreme, by the way. It was nowhere near as good as this save I'm about to mention. But David Seaman's save against Sheffield United was basically like it was in slow motion. You know? You know there's kind of goal where it's like the ball's going towards goal. It's like, no. And he's just like, don't worry, I'm going to save it, but it's going to take me 10 years until I do it. That was similar than that tonight in terms of how slow it took. It looked like it was just dipping it. It was like, oh, will it? And Raya gets there. That is an incredible save. Absolutely incredible. At an important time of the game. So that will be forgotten about because we won 2-0, but that was so important. So David Raya deserves a mention tonight. I think the two defenders that I'm going to mention are probably the two that outshone. So I'll go to the other two first. Kivior. Let's just say it how it is. He played well tonight. Like Kivior coming in for Gabriel, a lot of people were going, oh no. And then Zinchenko next to him on top of that, it was like, oh my word, Diallo's going to have an absolute field day. And you know what? He did when he came on, and Arteta changed it because he knew Zinchenko can't defend. Who knew that? Zinchenko actually was good tonight, I thought, particularly on the ball. I mean, on the ball, let's be real, he actually was not. He's never been bad on the ball. It's just defensively, he's just terrible, isn't he? Couple of diagonal crosses, though, Zinchenko dealt with them. I mean, it's the first time he has an Arsenal shirt, so big up to him. But I thought Kivior was really good and deserved a mention. But Saliba and Timber, you are both insanely good. Like, insanely good. Saliba, for me, was my man of the match. I know player of the match tonight was Declan Rice, but for me, Saliba was player of the match because he had an unbelievable first half where he ate everything up that was needed. He was so calm and composed on the ball. There was a bit of play, probably around the 20th, 30th minute, where I watched him and I just saw no pressure, calm, composedness. And I said that, I said to my dad, I said, that is genius. And everyone was like, wow, it was, wasn't it? It was just so... It was so beautiful to watch. If you love defending, now look, I played as a midfielder and as a winger, so I never played in defense. I didn't like playing in defense. It weren't for me, right? But if there is any centre halves, I mean, Judges, for example, Judges plays DM and centre half. He would have absolutely loved that piece of play from Saliba. And you know what? He would have loved his game tonight. He was phenomenal. Everything that he did was beautiful. It was calm. It was composed. He had confidence. And you know what he does? He puts belief and confidence into the fans. When the ball comes across or it's being booted up over the top, I just know Saliba's going to eat him up. I just know he's going to get there. And I don't care if it's Gyökeres. I don't care if it's Haaland. I don't care if it's Isak. I don't care if it's... Name me all the strikers you love at the moment. I believe Saliba has it in him to eat them all up. I honestly believe he's that good. He was superb tonight. And I was so pleased that he scored. And I loved his celebration right in front of us. Literally right in front of us. That's the corner flag where I see it. It was beautiful to see. It shows his passion. It shows his desire. It shows his love for the club. He's definitely happy. You know, a lot of people are talking about his move to Real Madrid one day. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure what will happen one day. But I have to say, it was superb to see his performance tonight. For me, player of the match. Absolutely outstanding. Now let's talk about Jurriën Timber. Now, people, I'm a huge fan of Ben White. So I've got a bit of a problem because this kid's better. And he's better by quite some distance as well. Wow. Just wow. I just, wow. I don't know how more I can say other than Timber is absolutely outstanding. Just outstanding. We've not been blessed with 7, 8, 9 right backs in our kind of Premier League era. I'm a big fan of Sagna, I'm a big fan of Dixon, and I'm a big fan of Lauren, but that's kind of where it stops. So I think this guy could be as good, if not better, than those names. I really do. And I know it's hard to compare the eras, and it's hard to compare how good that player would have been in this team. So would Sagna be doing what Timber's doing now in this team, or Dixon or Lauren, etc.? But I honestly think he's got everything in his locker to be better than all of them. He is so good, man. So good. And I just feel like there's a great opportunity here for him now that Ben White is out. So look, he deserves mention tonight. Great goal, great performance. And I have to say, his athleticism and drive on the ball is just levels above Ben White. And I love Ben White. One of my favourites. But this player, he is a serious talent, people. Serious talent. I looked at him at left back and I thought, yeah, you're a right back, but you know what? You're doing better at left back. Ben White, fair play. You're not getting ahead of Ben White. Boy, was I wrong. Yes, he is getting ahead of Ben White. And Ben White's got a problem when he comes back. Trust me. Good problem. And it's a great problem for us to have. But my God, Timber ain't being moved out of that position. He is phenomenal, mate. Absolutely phenomenal. Great from Arteta to make a change. Party at right back, putting Timber into left back. It just locked Manchester United up. Diallo was having a field day down that side against Zinchenko. And Mikel Arteta noticed it. He's learned. The last time I saw that happen was at Anfield, where Trent was absolutely skinning Zinchenko. And we waited to be drawing 2-2 before he brought Kieran Tierney on. A player who was warming up again today, by the way. Great to see Kieran up and down. I absolutely love Kieran Tierney. You know my thoughts about Kieran Tierney. So, look, we move into midfield. Probably one of the worst first halves that Partey has had all season. But he was better in the second half. And Jorginho come on and did his thing again, right? But Thomas Partey, actually, fair play to him. He delivered in the second half. Thought he was a hell of a lot better. Some sloppy passing from him in the first, if I'm honest with you. But actually really good from Thomas Partey in the second. Declan Rice. You, sir, were magnificent, particularly in the second half. And he's a player that when he plays like that, you think, there you go. There's the 8 that Mikel Arteta wants. Unfortunately, Declan Rice hasn't really put in any consistent performances of that level in that position. I do think he's a 6 still. But you know what? When he's fit and he's ready and raring to go, he can play it. And he proved that tonight. He can play it. And when Partey's this good in the 6, Rice will continue to play it. And then I mentioned the front four. Look, I've already said I'm not going to start slating them because they're absolutely unbelievable. Odegaard is magnificent. Tonight, not the best. Saka, not the best. Havertz, invisible in parts. Martinelli, nothing really come off for him. But you know what? Trossard come on. It was a good impact sub, and he did show a little bit more than Martinelli at times. But that is what Trossard is, right? Trossard is a sub. He's an impact sub. When he starts, it ain't quite the same. I know he was good against West Ham last week, but let's just be real. The whole team was. I do think that is what needs to happen now. Martinelli starts, Trossard comes on. Martinelli, I just need to see a little bit of confidence in him. I need to see things go right for him. He has scored a few goals for us this season. I think he's got 3 or 4 goals. But let's just say it how it is. He isn't having the best of times at the moment. It's been a harsh 12 to 18 months for Martinelli. It really has. And it's a shame because I think the difference between him and some of our other players is he hasn't developed like some of the other players have. Like when you look at what Odegaard, Saka, Saliba, White, who else has been there? Odegaard, some of these guys that have all been there in the same kind of bracket as him. He arrived at 17 and he hasn't really got better at the age of 23 than he was when he was at 17, 18. Like he's bulked up, he looks a bit stronger, but has he lost a yard of pace potentially? Has he grown in his confidence? Probably not. I don't think he's delivered other than one season where he got 15 goals. Other than that, it's probably the best season of his first year under Emery with 10. So, yeah, I don't feel there's a lot of love that he's getting at the moment, Martinelli. And I don't think that's going to help him. I feel like the fan base needs to get behind him. And I don't think they are. I think they're kind of giving up on him, which is a shame. I don't want to see that. I want to see Martinelli at Arsenal still at 26, 27, killing it. 15 goals here, 15 goals there, 16 goals here, 17 goals there. That's what I want to see from Martinelli. I just don't know that we're going to get that from him. And we need to see confident Martinelli back because it's affecting him, man. It really is affecting him. So look, my player of the match was Saliba. A lot of people are giving it to Declan Rice. A lot of people said Timber deserves a mention. Raya deserves a mention for that save. Kivior had a solid performance. Stubbs were very good when they came on, and Mikel Arteta deserves credit. But the guy we need to be talking about more than anything this time, people, is Nicholas Jover. This guy is a genius. And Set Piece FC, Stoke City, Mikel Poulis, cry. Keep crying, people. Rivals, show us the tears because we're loving it. I don't care if we have to play that way. Manchester United deserve credit tonight for the way that they come and set up. I thought they made it difficult for us, but let's just be real. The quality overshone and shone through in the end, and we take 3 points. I actually thought the referee was good tonight. I want to say it because a lot of people won't. The referee was good tonight. I thought there was a couple of decisions, as there always is, but I thought he let it flow for the most of it. I don't think there was any massive decisions that he got wrong. I didn't look at it and go, ref, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't think he was bad at all. We need to mention it when they're good because, trust me, we'll mention it when they're bad. We always do it. So that needs mentioning. We had Jared Gillett tonight on VAR and there was no issues. I know that there was a VAR call, but I think they were right from what I hear. And Liverpool dropped points. That was where I wanted to go next. Touch on Chelsea quick. 5-1 against Southampton. They had 10 men. They blitzed them in the end. Very, very impressed with them at the moment. Can that continue? Can they get themselves into a title race? If Arsenal are in one, then Man City are in one, then Chelsea are definitely in one, as far as I'm concerned. 1 game a week is helping them. I know they've got the Conference League, but let's be real, they play their kids in that at the moment. So let's see where Chelsea can go. But Liverpool tonight, I mean, I didn't see the game. I saw the goals, but my goodness, that looks like an absolute thriller at St. James's Park. And aren't Newcastle just mad that they can beat Arsenal, draw with Liverpool, but lose to West Ham? How does that make any sense? But that's football for you right now. Look, a couple of wins and you go up the table. Aston Villa were 12th today. Now they're 6th or 7th, I think. Newcastle, likewise, the bottom half. Now all of a sudden they've got themselves just with a point back up to, I think it's 8th or something crazy like that. It is incredible. Chelsea actually go ahead of us in second due to goal difference. Arsenal at the moment right there with them on the same points, 2 goals behind. Liverpool just 7 points ahead now. With a Merseyside derby, which will be the last one at Goodison Park. Come on, Everton. Arsenal just got to keep winning. You know, at one stage it was 0-0 and they were like, Liverpool losing or Liverpool drawing. And I thought, you know what? I really don't care if Arsenal aren't winning. Like, tell me the score when Arsenal are 2-0 up by all means, but don't tell me when Arsenal aren't winning because that will frustrate me even more. We just need to do our job. So it doesn't matter if Liverpool lose 8-2. Yeah. If Arsenal have lost, it doesn't bother me. So that's where I'm at. Everton, Fulham and Spurs are the 3 that Liverpool have got. And Arsenal at the moment see themselves go on a bit of a run now where we actually can get some serious points. And that's what I'm expecting. Starting with Fulham away on Sunday, I actually believed we were going to drop points here a few weeks ago. The way we're playing now and the way that Fulham are with their inconsistency, I think we should be taking 3 points. And that's how quickly it can change. We've got a nice run. We've got Everton at home coming up. We've got 2 games against Palace home and away. We've got Ipswich around Christmas time at home, Brentford away. We don't leave London with our Champions League games until we've got Brighton on the 4th of January. That is quite insane. So I expect us to go on a good run now, people. Make sure you do me a favor. Hit the like button now. Hit the subscribe button now. 2 buttons that are free. Please make sure we can grow this channel to 30k. I'd love to get it by the new year. I don't think I'm going to, but with your help, I might get close. So please make sure that you do that. Those 2 buttons are free, like and subscribe. Make sure you go check out Manscaped. Link is in the description. Just click on the link. You get 20% off. FTM20 is the code that you need. The Chairman Pro is being promoted at the moment. If you are like a shaver, if you have got a beard and you want a beard trimmer, then of course there is the beard hedger. And if you need to sort yourself out, gentlemen, below the belt, then it's the Lawnmower 5.0. Please make sure you go check it out. FTM20 is the code that you need. Up the Arsenal. I'll be back tomorrow. Take it easy and we'll see you next time. Big up, people.